So this is the interview with Kersten, D.Van, Severen and B.Princen. And actually maybe to begin with the beginning, I wanted to ask Kersten and David to tell me how it all started. What was your epiphany with architecture? How did you get into architecture?
I think the start is we went to Los Angeles. That was our start, in the sense that we both went to LA at the same time. And we were studying architecture, but maybe, just studying it and going to LA and really enjoying it. And I remember mostly enjoying the palm trees, Hockney's palm trees, let's say, and sharing that. And that's how we got started, I think, the two of us.
Yeah, and at a certain point, we came across a little commission that we could do. And we started making that, and that's how the office actually, officially, we had to look for a name because we got a publication, and then we called the office K.Geers, D.Van Severen.
Yeah, I think this LA is very important for us in a strange way. And despite the fact that we have sometimes a tendency to make claims which might look much more like conservative European urbanism, in a very strange way, I think we are both really fascinated by this weird, almost two-dimensional landscape of Los Angeles. We see in Ed Ruscha paintings or something. And so when we were there, something of a sparkle happened. After this first little commission we did, we had a second commission where we were still not really a proper office. And that was in Los Angeles again.
And which project is this?
That's a project which we never built. It's a project, we were for 3 months in LA and we had to do a project in Venice Beach, to transform a house into a very small place to stay and a shop or something. And we had a crazy client who asked us all kind of weird things, amongst which buying a Hummer, which was very strange to do. And we were there, and I think we started our company there in a certain sense, buying a printer, buying a table, and then the whole thing collapsed. And we returned to Europe, and it took another almost 2 years before we properly started the office of today.
But I'm curious about Ed Ruscha, because Ed inspired when tourists come round to learning from Las Vegas, as they told me, when we interviewed him with RAM. And now, many decades later, Ed Ruscha inspired you. You're quoting him here saying, Ed Ruscha saying, all of my art has been premeditated, having a notion of the end and not the means to the end. The means to the end has always been secondary in my art. It's the end product that I'm after.
Well, it's of course funny because it's a quote we use ourselves of Ed Ruscha, which I remember in his interview book, Leave Any Information After the Signal, something like that. He talks about that. And for us it's a very important quote, because it's an attempt, or it's a belief in an intention. That architecture is more about intentions than about inventions, in a certain sense. And of course that's not invented by ourselves. I remember Iñaki Abalos talking about that when he was talking about Alejandro de la Sota. But Ed Ruscha somehow talks about the same. And so the idea that you have an intention of what you want, and then through, you could say, composition, you assemble things together in order to make, you could use a painterly term and say a tableau, a piece, that has been very important to us. So Ruscha, apart from the fact that he's an LA-based artist, is also about that for us.
And you also quote Ruscha in your text, which is 1,000 words, and I was wondering, what's the kind of importance of writing for you?
Well, it's this intention aspect, very, very many architects, I think, which we like, to name a very evident one like Adolf Loos or something, have been writing. Not so much as proper academics, but, also the Smithsons did that, but as people who try to understand why they were doing the practice. In other words, why are they doing architecture? So from that perspective, not to write a lot, but at least to do consciously what you're doing is very important.
Yeah, I think it's about writing, then it's anything you make is in a way a product, as you were saying about Edrichet also, and that is a text, but also a model is that we make a drawing as a plan. It's also, in a way, it could be an end product, and we see each thing we make as parts in this language we speak, which we try to make architecture with. So in that sense, I agree completely what Kersten was saying.